Alright, so we're going to talk about loose leash walking. Loose leash walking is simply that the dog walks with you without pulling on the leash. They don't have to be at your heel or behind you. They just cannot pull on the leash. Part of what helps successful loose leash walking is proper leash handling skills. A lot of people, especially if they have a big, powerful dog like Bayo, they want to wrap the leash around their hand. That way they feel secure and that the leash is not going anywhere. Unfortunately, what happens with that is that when you wrap the leash like this and the dog pulls you in an unexpected direction, you can't quickly let go of your leash and it can quickly become dangerous. So instead, you want to fold, not wrap the leash. So if you have a handle on your leash, you're going to put your thumb through the handle and then mimic that shape with the slack of the leash. And you continue to do that until you have the length of leash that you are desiring, and then you're going to close your hand over the leash, keeping your hand perpendicular to the ground. If your hand is parallel, you don't use as much range of motion and your muscles are not properly used. So perpendicular, folded, not wrapped. At the Coventry School, we don't use prong, choke, or shock collars. The reason for this is when your dog hits those aversive tools, it causes fear or pain. So we want to use something that keeps them safe and also creates a positive association with walking with us. If you have a dog that pulls really hard on the leash, I suggest using a harness that won't put pressure on their neck and that can alleviate some of the pulling. You can also, if you have a dog that's really strong, condition them to a head halter or simply just use their flat collar or martingale. For Bayo, he's going to be on a harness on the back clip, but you'll notice that there's also a front clip option if I need one. This will give me some leverage if I need it. Now, Bayo has a lot of tools to use for loose leash walking that you have all learned up until now. The first one is his name. Bayo. Yes. He looks up at me. Touch. Yes. And finally, ready? Get it. All three of these are going to be used with our loose leash walking while we're moving. The first rule that I want to remind you of is don't follow the dog while they're pulling and only feed while 6 feet are moving. So to make this easy for me, I'm going to hold my treats in my right hand here as a stash to feed very quickly. If I have the treats in my left hand on the side that he's going to be on, it's going to be very easy to have him stay with me, but then he's not truly doing a behavior, he's just following a treat. So what I'm going to start to do, I'm going to do ready, get it, as I'm moving. Ready, get it. Ready, get it. Notice that I'm throwing the treats in the direction that I want to travel. Ready, get it. Ready, get it. If I want to turn directions, I can use a hand touch. Yes. If my dog is really with me, I can use simply eye contact and name cues. So, Bayo. Nice job. And I'm going to continuously feed on the left side of my body where I want my dog. So I'm only going to be feeding in this general area. That keeps him wanting to stay with me and connected with me.